This episode is brought to you by the Kirtland Partnership Committee. For 30 years, we've been dedicated to supporting, growing, and preserving the Kirtland National Security Complex. We work tirelessly to enhance military readiness, foster community partnerships, improve quality of life, and promote economic development right here in New Mexico. Join us in our mission to ensure that Kirtland remains a cornerstone of national security and a key provider of quality jobs and investment for all of Greater Albuquerque. Together, we can make a powerful impact. Kirtland Partnership Committee, proudly shaping the future of our national security for 30 years.
From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. It's Wednesday, March 12th. Here's today's headlines. A bill aimed at allowing local school boards to set their own instructional calendars is moving forward through the New Mexico legislature with strong bipartisan support. However, it faces an almost certain veto from Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, who has been a strong advocate for requiring at least 180 school days. The Public Education Department had initially adopted the rule enforcing the 180-day minimum, but a judge struck it down last month. Although the rule never took effect, PED has appealed the ruling. In response, lawmakers introduced House Bill 65 to formally allow local control over school calendars. The bill has sailed through the legislature, passing the House unanimously, despite concerns that reducing school days could harm student performance, particularly for tribal students. Supporters argue that rural schools, many of which operate on 4-day weeks, need flexibility. House Minority Leader Gail Armstrong, a Republican from Magdalena, sees the bill as aligning with judicial rulings and local preferences. She also suggested a veto could energize efforts to elect a Republican governor when Lujan Grisham's term ends next year. If passed, House Bill 65 would take immediate effect due to an emergency clause. The governor has 3 days to sign or veto it once it reaches her desk. While her office hasn't directly commented, PED has defended the 180-day rule, emphasizing research showing that more classroom time improves student outcomes. Testimony began in the federal trial of Solomon Peña, who's accused of orchestrating shootings at the homes of Democratic officials after losing a 2022 state election. Prosecutors claim Peña, convinced his defeat was due to election fraud, hired Demetrio and Jose Trujillo to carry out the attacks. The Trujillos have pled guilty and testified that Peña paid them to shoot at officials' homes, including that of Senator Linda Lopez, where bullets entered a child's bedroom. Peña's defense argues the case hinges on the testimony of the Trujillos, who may have been motivated by lighter sentences. However, prosecutors counter that Peña alone had the political motive. Witnesses, including Bernalillo County Commissioner Adrian Barboa, testified that Peña aggressively pushed election fraud claims and even offered, quote, armed security to officials who helped him challenge results. Peña faces 13 federal charges, including firearm offenses and conspiracy, with a possible life sentence. The trial is expected to last until March 21st. TXNM Energy Incorporated, the parent company of Public Service Company of New Mexico, or PNM, is reportedly weighing a potential sale. The Albuquerque-based company, formerly known as PNM Resources Incorporated, is currently evaluating its options with the help of an advisor. Although company officials have not confirmed the reports, Bloomberg cited insider sources suggesting the possibility of acquisition interest from a, quote, potential suitor. TXNM Energy has been meeting its earning goals and projecting future growth, which has boosted investor confidence. After the Bloomberg report, the company's stock jumped nearly 7%, continuing its upward trajectory over the past year. However, company officials have declined to comment on speculation regarding a potential sale, citing standard policy on market rumors. In 2024, TXNM Energy faced challenges when a $4.3 billion merger with Avangard, a subsidiary of the Spanish energy giant Iberdrola, fell apart after the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission rejected the deal. The matter was further delayed by the New Mexico Supreme Court's lengthy deliberation on the appeal request. This development comes at a time when New Mexico Gas Company is undergoing regulatory scrutiny for its proposed $1.2 billion sale to Bernhardt Capital Partners, a private equity firm from Louisiana. While TXNM Energy could decide to stay independent, its ongoing evaluations indicate that a sale is still a possibility. The situation is fluid and will be updated as more information becomes available. New Mexico's Children's, Youth, and Families Department, or CYFD, is facing growing concerns about its ability to address infant substance exposure effectively. In response, some state lawmakers are pushing for a shift in authority over newborn care plans related to substance exposure. Senate Bill 42, which aims to move the implementation of the state's Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act program from CYFD to the Department of Health, is a key proposal in this reform. This change, which has gained bipartisan support, seeks to ensure better management of newborn care, as New Mexico has a higher than average rate of children born exposed to drugs or alcohol. The bill proposes mandatory safe care plans for infants exposed to substances, with a healthcare professional responsible for developing these plans. It also introduces prenatal screening, intervention, and treatment referrals, alongside stronger coordination with parents through follow-ups to ensure compliance. The Department of Health would take the lead on these efforts, while CYFD would only intervene if caregivers refuse to cooperate. This shift is part of a broader effort to overhaul CYFD, which has faced criticism for workforce retention and operational inefficiency. Opposition to CYFD's continued involvement comes from figures like House Minority Leader Gail Armstrong, who argue that the department has been ineffective and needs significant reform. Senate Majority Whip Michael Padilla, who co-sponsored the bill, emphasized that clarity and direct guidelines are crucial to ensuring hospitals and birthing centers are properly trained to manage substance-exposed newborns. While the proposal is moving through the legislature, a duplicate version of the bill, House Bill 343, awaits action on the House floor. Both pieces of legislation represent a broader push to address the ongoing public health concern surrounding infant substance exposure in New Mexico. And in sports news, for the first time in 12 years, the University of New Mexico men's basketball team has secured the Mountain West Conference regular season championship. In recognition for their successful season, several Lobos have earned individual honors. Junior guard Donovan Dent, who made history as the first player in league history to average 20 points and 6 assists in conference play, was named Mountain West Player of the Year. Dent led the conference in scoring and ranked highly in other categories, including assists, steals, and blocks. He was also named second-team All-American by Andy Katz and third-team All-American by the Field of 68 podcast network. Lobos head coach Richard Pitino was honored as Mountain West Coach of the Year, marking only the second time a UNM coach has earned this distinction. Pitino, in his fourth year, guided the team to a championship and earned $20,000 in bonuses for the achievement. Additionally, center Nelly Jr. Joseph earned a spot on the All-Mountain West First Team and All-Defense Team, and True Washington received honorable mention recognition as well. These individual accolades highlight the strong performance of the Lobos, who have had a standout year in the Mountain West Conference. If you like hearing all of the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal here on the Leading News, consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Albuquerque Journal. You can check our show notes for a discount code on a digital subscription and keep up with all the latest news from New Mexico's leading news source. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast. Today you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high near 64, and this evening mostly clear with a low around 35. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. I'm Gino Gutierrez. The Leading News will be back tomorrow.